You're welcome to FCL Accounting Institution Center YouTube channel. My name is Wando Franklin, Chief Executive Officer and Lead Tutor at FCL Accounting Institution Center, a tutor with vast experience in lecturing and training accountants over 20 years. In today's video, we are going to look at accounting for doubtful debts. I'm going to explain the doubtful debts, and I'm also going to show you how to prepare the allowance for doubtful debts account and how to prepare the P&L extract and also the extract of statement of financial position. So now I want you to understand doubtful debts are those credit customers who are likely not to pay because of a number of reasons. The customer, who we call the receivable, are going through financial difficulties. They have lost business. Therefore, they are unable to pay. Number two, we have the receivables with balances which are in disputes. Balances which are in disputes. So they are saying, we are not owing you this amount. So we are in the process of reconciling. Now, accounting for doubtful debts is in line with the prudence concept. So I want you to understand the prudence concept. The prudence concept states that entities should not anticipate revenue, income, or gains until cash is received or other assets. That's when you recognize the revenues, the gains, and income. Other assets is where the customer buys goods on credit and there's a contract signed that they are owing us, so they are a receivable. The same concept states that all foreseeable losses should be provided for in the financial statements. So doubtful debts are foreseeable losses and they must be provided for. An allowance for doubtful debts is an amount set aside from the P&L to meet the possible bad debts. And now you make a provision or an allowance for each year. I want you to understand this concept. This is very important. An increase in allowance from one year to another. Increase in the allowance. Very important concept. Increase in allowance is an expense. Very, very important. Decrease in allowance is a gain. A decrease in allowance is a gain. An expense is debited in the P&L. A gain is credited in the P&L. Now, I want you to understand another concept which is very important. Bad debts written off are those debts which have been outstanding for a long time and they have not yet been paid. So the entity may decide to write them off. If those are written off, and if they are not yet deducted from the receivables, when calculating the allowance for receivables must be deducted. If they have already been deducted, then no adjustment is required. Very important. So now we can go to the question here. We can go to the question. A firm started business on 1 January 2016, and its financial year end is 31st December. The dates there, we have 2016, the total accounts receivables, profit and loss, debit, credit, final figure for statement of financial position. The table shows the figure of outstanding accounts receivable appearing in a trader's books on the 31st December each year from 2016 to 2019. The allowance for doubtful debts is to be 1% of accounts receivable from the 31st December 2016. Complete the table indicating the amount to be debited or credited to profit or loss accounts for the year ended on each 31st December. The amount for the final figure for accounts receivable to appear in the statement of financial position on each date. So the first thing that we need to do is to calculate the allowance. Allowance. So the allowance here at each year end will be 2016. The receivables were 21,000. Multiplied by 1%. So this one is 210. That is the allowance. On 2017, it is 24,000 receivables. Multiplied by 1%. This will give us 240. I want you to pay particular attention. 240 here, there is an increase. The increase is 30, which will debit to P&L. In 2018, there is 18,000. Multiplied by 1%. There we have 18, that is 180. There is a reduction. There is a reduction of 60, which will be credited. 2019, that is 21,000 receivables. Multiplied by 1%, this one will be 210. There will be increase of 30. Now, I want to show you how the accounts would look like before we come to the questions. Allowance for doubtful debts account. So this is, we have the debit, we have the credit. I want you to pay particular attention. At the end of 2016, 31st December 16, the amount to be charged to P&L, since it's the first, it's 210. It was increasing from 0 to 210. Then at the end of the year, you balance. 2016, the balance there carried down 210. In the following year, which will be 1st January 2017, the balance brought forward will be 210. At the end of 31st December 2017, there is an increase. There is an increase of 30 P&L. 30. And this increases to 240. At the end of 31st December 2017, the balance will be 240. At the beginning of the year, 1st is January 18, this will be the balance brought forward or brought down, 240. At the year end, 2018, there was a reduction. A reduction you debit here. 31st December 2018, there was a reduction, P&L. The reduction was 60. So the balance here is total 240. Total there 240. At the year end, what is the balance? 18. The balance carried down is 180, which becomes the opening balance in the following year. The following year will be 1st January 2019. The balance brought down 180. In 2019, there was an increase of 30. 31st December 2019, P&L, 30. Total 210. December 2019, the balance will be 210. So that's how the account will be. Now, when you come to the completion of the table, in 2016, the amount there will be 210. And you are going to debit because it's an increase from 0 to 210. It's an expense. In the statement of financial position, the figure will be 21,000 less the allowance for bad debts. In 2017, the amount to charge there is the increase, 30. And you are going to debit. The amount there will be 24,000 less 240, the total allowance. In 2018, there was a reduction, 60. A reduction is again, therefore, credit the P&L. In here, there will be 18,000 less 180. In 2019, there was an increase, 30. Debit. And the receivables at the end of the year will be less the total allowance, 210. So that's how you account for the allowance for doubtful debts. For today, we are going to end here. And I would like to thank you, all the subscribers, the new subscribers, the old subscribers, and the potential subscribers. Please ensure you subscribe and hit the notification button to receive the videos when they are available. Thank you very much for watching this video, and God bless you.